I always say that Dubai is very London real, and I've had about 1,000 conversations over the last 12 years, and I speak to people and they talk about being kind of in a low energy vibration, like where you're in the state of hate and you're projecting all of your problems on other people, on other things. It's a victim mentality. It's their fault. Or you can kind of take a higher state of vibration where you kind of take extreme ownership of everything. You focus on yourself. And if you improve yourself, the rest of the world will see what you do and they'll want to follow. How can you contribute towards humanity? How can you push yourself beyond your boundaries in order to get better? Find out what's out there. David Goggins, the U.S. Navy SEAL, says most of us quit at 40%, as in we have so much more that we can give. That feels like something, His Royal Highness would say here, or something you would say. And so this city is very interesting because it has so many parallels with some of the great parts of humanity that I've been able to uncover with this show. The problem with some of that negative energy is it can become very addictive. You wake up in hate. Hate gives you an emotion, and it's very easy to repeat that loop. It's someone else's fault why you're not innovating. Oh, well, I'm going to go get those people today. And you can fall into these really negative loops and never go anywhere, but that's not the solution. The solution is to build something great. And do you want your children in those same hate loops? Do you want those children in those same lack of ownership loops, victim loops? Or do you want them creating great people and great things? And it's a real question to ask people because you seem like you embody that mentality here. I had a thought this week and I'm curious what you think. For me, that Dubai in a way feels, in a good way, a bit like a cult, a bit like a group of people that say, you know what? We don't want to live in the world where your values seem to be this, 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 and this. We want to think a different way. And we want to be around each other. And we want to set up our own kind of rules. And we want to go do things differently over here. And we feel comfortable here. And we want to be a part of this way of thinking. And I kind of walk away from the other part of the world. What do you think about that analogy?
I think you mentioned that the leadership in Dubai is amazing, number one. Number two, they push us actually. So they are the great motivator. You mentioned that it is a way of living, right? It's a mentality. And the mentality comes actually from our culture, it comes from our religion, it comes from a lot of other influences, it comes from experiences we've had in the past. It was not always, amazing in Dubai. We've gone through a lot of hardship in Dubai. A lot of my father and grandfather, as early as that, had a lot of hardships growing up, a lot of friction and getting to work. I saw a documentary a couple of days ago where it took hours to go from one emirate in the northern Emirates just to come to Dubai. Hours, almost days sometimes, because there were no roads and it was a tough journey and a lot of people did not make it. And a lot of times, during these kind of travel between different emirates. And coming from that hardship and understanding that the prosperity we got very quickly and relatively speaking compared to other places, we appreciate that. Another thing that intrinsic to every single Emirati is unity. We know that together we can do more. We were 7 small emirates with very, very small resources. All of a sudden, we got good wealth, good prosperity, good infrastructure, good leadership, and we're holding on to that. We're holding out to that hope again. We're holding on to every single success that we have. We want to genuinely not go ever back to not being together, not ever go back to being, separated from each other. No matter how much competition we have, that does not ruin our fabric. Our fabric is always and always will be working together towards achievable goals in a systematic way. You said that it's so extreme, some people might compare to a cult. It is not a cult, it is unity. Unity is what brings us together. It's called the United Arab Emirates. We are Arabs and we are Emirates, but we are first and foremost united. It's not only Emiratis that feel this way. Every Arab person, every Muslim person that lives in the UAE feel at home. Some people used to call it second home. A lot of people call it first home now. They love it more than their own country. Not because of the physical location, but because of the mentality and the mental state that they feel when they are here in the UAE.
What about the foreigners? Do they feel the same way?
100%. because they agree to the idea of the UAE. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. When you live in the UAE, you very quickly consider yourself an ambassador of the UAE, right?
The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.